Hello, my friends. Operator.starsky here. Welcome to my birthday stream. I'm so happy to see you guys. Tell me one thing. Do you hear the music? And if the music is too loud, okay? Because I don't really know. I didn't check. Actually, just 1 second. Let me check it out. Uh, Please let me know which countries are present today, right? Where is it? My channel. Actually, yeah, I think I can turn the music up a bit, just a bit. All right, my friends. I'm so happy that you are here. Oh my god, I have never had 101 guests at my birthday before, but I hope that there will be a bit more. So today we will be telling each other stories. Most probably I will be telling stories because I am the one who does blah blah here. And we will have some birthday cake, all right. It's a Schwarzwaldenkirche torte, all right. And also I'm armed with zero alcohol beer and a rubber woman. Just kidding. It's not zero alcohol beer. So what do we have here? We have United States. We have Canada. We have UK. We have Germany. Oh my God. United Kingdom. Austria. Österreich. Oh, this is so cool. Martin, hello. Netherlands here, and Switzerland, and Denmark, and California. This is so cool. Okay, music is low, brother, but it won't interfere anyways. Italy, yay! All right, Liverpool, England, Finland. Holy shit. It's like, of course, I'm old fart. That's what I do. South Africa, we have people from Maine. We have people from New Zealand. Guys, do you even sleep? I mean, it's really early in New Zealand. We also have people from Stockholm, of course. Sweden, Slovenia, Bulgaria. I mean, basically neighbors. Sweden, Austria, Schwarzenegger home. Of course. On this channel, we all respect Arnie, regardless of his political career. He's like he's our idol here. Okay, and Scotland, of course, Scotland. So, what can I say? This morning I woke up, I made a video on 1 million Russian losses. What else can I do on my birthday, right? We have Norway. All right, we have Norway. And Kosovo too. Oh my god, this is so cool. We guys, I'm so touched, seriously. I've never had so many people celebrating or inviting to my birthday at the same time, literally, because I couldn't accommodate them. Even in the times when I was a company sergeant, I would literally not celebrate. Oh, I was thinking about my 30th birthday that I celebrated in Kurakhova, actually, in Kurakhova 2015. And it was crazy. That was the day when we just returned from Krasnohorivka, where we were shelled every night. And I had a lot of impressions, so to say. Barcelona, Minnesota, all right. Indonesia, my friend from Indonesia. So in the Microsoft Flight Simulator, I have this like never-ending trip eastwards from Germany to like Japan, and I'm literally flying next to you in the virtual skies. We have Denmark, we have Ireland, all right. We have people from St. Petersburg, Florida, Cincinnati, Ohio, whoa, Detroit, City of Rock. I am so touched. I am so touched, my friends. So, um, let's celebrate. I will eat just a bit of birthday cake. Actually, I literally had like a bunch of sushi just like half an hour ago with the cake and my lady, and I'm not really hungry, but what I'm saying, I'm always hungry. I'm a hungry and wild Ukrainian, right? So this is for you guys. And this cake, earlier this year, we went to Kaufland and we bought the cake, which looked like this one. And today I went to the same place and I bought the cake, and my lady told me that I bought the same cake. And apparently it was because the previous time I also was the one who picked this cake. And I was like, all right, I want like this one. It looks cool. It has cream, cherries. I'll pick this one. And basically it was the same one. So to you, my friends, thank you so much for being with me today, because today we will not only chat and hear my stories, all right, but we will also play several games, which I think will be extremely fun. Jolster, thank you so much. Julio, thank you, and Mary, and everybody. Oh my God, thank you so much, my friends. Wait a minute, what sim do you fly? So I'm flying Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. I flew sim update 3 beta, but they broke something really bad, so now I'm only flying sim update 2, expecting for the sim update 3 to be released. Black Forest cake, well, basically this is how it's called. It's like a cake with like cherry and some berry on top of it, which I don't know even what sort of berry it is, and cream. Not too shabby, not too shabby. Ah, food part first today. Yes, yes, my friend. We will talk about food all day today. 51 years old. Come on, my friend. That's when the life starts. Basically, why I mentioned my 30th birthday in Krasnohorivka is because I thought, I am 30 years old. I'm literally an old fart. So many things will change. You know, it's when you cross that Rubicon, right? Like this frontier, 30 years old, and your life changes. Literally nothing changes at all. Like, I feel as if I'm still 16, nothing changes at all. Besides being an old fart, of course, nothing changes. Same stuff. Schwarzwaldenkirchtorte. Yes, and this, my friends, will be our second game, I think. So I will be pronouncing crazy words from your language. You type them in the chat. We're not starting yet, but you're typing the craziest word from your language in the chat, and I will be trying to pronounce it and guess what it means. All right. So I will take a huff and puff. I've been 29 years old for at least 30 plus years. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, my friend. Okay. 67. Bridget. Angelika Bayer is watching us right now and she's laughing like crazy. Trust me. Okay. one thing that I'm practicing right now is I'm trying to pronounce crazy German words, because Germans like to. Okay, this one I will save. Germans like to combine a lot of words into one, and basically this is very much similar to what we do in Ukraine, because in Ukraine we also have like this Ukroboronprom I don't know, Ukroboronprom, whatever. And I'm kind of practicing them, because first time I saw those like kilometer-long words in Germany, I was literally terrified. But now I'm trying, like to get used to them. So if you have, oh my God, okay, I will say this one. If you have some kind of crazy words from your language on your mind, please let me know. Literally drop them in the chat. I will be trying to pronounce them because it's just so cool, regardless of which language it is. All right. I'm not, by the way, very familiar with like Swedish words, Norwegian, and what else? Dutch words, of course. So you can literally torture me as much as you like. Okay, we have Ivan Hashina, my good friend from Ukraine, not just my friend, but also brother. Братка, дуже радий тебе сьогодні тут бачити. От, сподіваюся, що у тебе все добре, я за тобою скучив. І, коротше, у мене тут безалкогольне пиво, яке я за тебе підніму сьогодні. І за всіх наших. Okay, let's check out first one. Oh my God, Steve, how can you do this to me? Steve, also Duncan. All right, I will save those. I will save this one. And oh my God, this Norwegian word will probably destroy my brain. Okay, so you're serious, right? Is that even a word? Okay, Chilster, please wait. All right. Okay. And this one. All right, we have a bunch of them. So this one is Rindfleische Tieräumsüberwachungsaufgabenübernungsgesetzt. All right. I did it, which means I have no idea what it means. I know that it's something related to beef, because Rindfleisch, everybody knows, right? This is like the thing that we all do. Please let me know what it means, by the way, because I have no idea. Okay, this one I hope I passed. All right, I hope I passed, because it was bad. Okay, Lau Vili Vil. All right. Lau Vili Vili Nuku Nuku Oi Oi. Thank you so much. Which I have literally no idea how to translate, of course. Jilke, just a moment, all right? Saipuka Upias. Saipuka Upias. That is the same backwards. How cool is that? What does it even mean? But sounds cool. Okay, next one. All right, Jilke is trying to like destroy my brain completely. Frachtwagenbandventi. All right, take two. Frachtwagenband. It's fan. Frachtwagenbandventiltopie. All right, I did it. My tongue is still there. Hello, my friend. Thank you so much. uh, Relief pfeile. Yeah, relief pfeile. Nice. Don't know what it means. Saipuka upias. Yeah, it's a sopasella in Finnish. Hope I knew what sopasella is, my friend. No idea. Okay, so next one is. So this is Bulgarian, right? Let me try this one. Не противоконституционствовательствуйте. Is it? Do you even hear that? So, don't act against your constitution, right? Не противоконституционствовательствуйте. That is so cool because, I have never heard anything like that, but generally, Bulgarian language looks similar, sounds similar, but speaking it, I never tried, and I had hard time understanding it actually. However, like it's very very similar. So like partially I understand. Oh my god. Okay. Sporvångskineskrabberassistant. I did it. I received. I earned a medal, I think. Okay, this one is Schleifmach. Sorry, mach. Schleifmaschinenverleih. Schleifmaschinenverbe. All right. Schleifmaschinenverleihbetrieb. Schleifmaschinenverleihbetrieb. Okay. Thank you very much. Hippopotamonstros. All right. A hippopotamonstroseskipedaliphobia. Fear of long words. So this is how it's called. All right. Now I have an idea for like a new password for my Gmail. All right. If you were a Russian orc soldier, you'd be a young buck. Thank you so much. If I was a Russian soldier, I'd probably be dead. What more can I say? Okay, this one I did. A small town in Wales, very, very small town, but this town does everything so everyone remembers this one, all right? So, Lanfair Gigori is it really a town? Seriously? Okay, Jolster, I give up. All right. Really? Is it a town? English town. Loughborough? Loughborough? Loughborough. Okay. This one requires like a bit more knowledge of English language. Probably I don't have enough because this one is tricky. All right. Oh, okay. Before I try to pronounce this one, I think I will have to drink just a bit. So it's Norwegian. And I have no idea how this O is spelled. Like O, like in Germany. Hoyesterets justitiarius. Hoyesterets titiarius. Please let me know what it means. I only recognize the word TT. All right. So the next one is the parquet. That's the one that I try to pronounce, and I'm not risking to do it anymore. All right. Yes, my friend. This is my birthday today, and it's my 40th birthday in Ukraine. Love, bro. All right. It was so obvious, all right? Yeah, so this is my 40th birthday for the first time in my life, and generally we don't really celebrate 40th birthdays in Ukraine for the reasons unknown, literally because we are so superstitious. So I decided to do it this time. The words hit wholly on the planetics called Russia. The worst shit on the planet's called Russia. Yeah, my friend. All right. Do you still hear music, by the way? Let me know, because I cannot hear it, and if it's boring, let me know. Hod met Flode. I hope I didn't butcher it. Okay. Dodecahedron. That's not that hard, actually. Scheveningen. Not really sure about the correct stress, but it's something like that. Scheveningen. Okay. Does Blinken link? All right. Does Blinken link? Das Blinken-Linksen ist gut. Okay. What else? What else do we have? The longest word in Czech. Oh, this one will be interesting. All right. This one will be interesting. Nejnie obhospodarowa. Oh my god, this one broke me. Nejnie obhospodarowa vetelniejsiho. That's interesting, and I don't even know what it means. Besides hospodarova, so this is basically like managing, like household, something like that, right? As far as I understand, because in Ukrainian language we have hospodarstvo, which is like household. Aha, so it was, they tricked me. All right. Slovenian here, all right. Dialektично-materialistyczen. Dialektично-materialistyczen. Which means dialectical materialistic. All right. Like, guys, we're Slavs here. We like, you know, we understand. So Chakamanduris, is it Is it Che in the beginning? Cha Kamandurias. I don't know. Hopefully. Guys, I will be butchering a lot. All right. Onomatopedia. But yes, I think. Security insurance for your car. Oh, okay. Okay, let me try this one. All right. I gotta prepare. Like, German words are scaring the hell out of me. Seriously. Okay. Kraftfahrzeug, butchered. Kraftfahrzeug, Kraftfahrzeug auf Pflichtversicherung. Kraftfahrzeug auf Pflicht. Alright. Kraftfahrzeug Haftpflichtversicherung. Yes, yeah, I did it. Okay, okay. Gagamandurias. All right. I am not really familiar like with the way Catalonian language sounds, because like it's kind of sounds like Latin, but not really. So what am I drinking? I'm drinking Bitburger Pils alcoholfrei. That is literally from like Kaufland, all right, and it's like not the worst. That was the only beer that I could grab with my free finger, because all of my other fingers were busy with sushi. Okay. Halia, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Kraftfahrzeug, Pflichtversicherungsvertreter. Oh. If it like was a condition for me, to say that word in order not to be shot, I think I would I would die like 10 times already. Anyways, all right. We have Rick, the Ukrainian, there in the chat. Hello, Rick. Hello, my friend. I hope that you're doing great. Please join our celebration. We have some cake that I will eat for you, my friend. Okay. What else do we have, guys? We still have like a bunch of words that I really have to manage. All right. Department of Efficiency, Smart der Autobusmarkenhausen. Smart der Autobusmarkenhausen. Smart der Autobusmarkenhausen. This is how it sounds. All right. Danube Steamship Company. Okay. Donaudampfschifffahrtgesellschaft. Ellie hates me because I didn't make coffee for her. All right. El otorinolaringologo de Parangaricutri desenfundandolo Dio. Ferrocarti. Okay, I butchered it so bad. Tanti auguri di buon compleanno Starsky thing. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm so blessed with you guys. Ooh, okay. I feel like I've lost like 3,000 calories in like 5 minutes. Um, Parana Parana Piacaba. Parana Piacaba. I don't really know how to spell this A, like with this stuff, but I hope it sounds right. About right. Okay. Okay. What else? What else? I'm literally I'm scared to look at the chat because like every time I see like this, 1 kilometer long board, I feel like I might fail. Okay, so if it's Italian, um, non il fenossipolietileno si etanolo per tutti la famiglia. Something related to polyethanol. I don't know. Some kind of chemical, 100%. I can recognize. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. Whew. How does this A sound? Okay, guys, I need a hint. All right, I need a hint to understand how to spell this one properly. Because, okay, Chat GPT, save me, save me. How to spell Norwegian? Not Concoran, Norwegian. Norwegian letter A. Okay. Is pronounced something like oh, aha, all right, okay. Sorry, I cheated, but I literally have no idea how to say it. Außen være være like a bro, like a boss. Oh my god. Okay. All right. Oh, so what else? 5 more words. I will make it. I doubt. Okay. Bullion Turning Packet Master Assistant. Like a boss. It looked intimidating, okay? It looked intimidating. Hopefully I did it. Yeah, that's the crazy word that I already did. I think, yes. Okay, but it was good. Okay. Yeah, I did this one too. Hoyestered Justitiar reuse. The TT word. All right. Discombobulated. I think. I might be wrong. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh my god. Supercalifragilistic. All right. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Yeah. Years of learning English. Zero result. Bez no hoholoi. That one was not really easy. I agree. Oh, okay. Workers' Accident Insurance Act. Do they insure workers who break their tongue while trying to speak it in Germany? I gotta know. Arbeiter, Arbeiterunfallversch Arbeiterunfallversicherungsgesetz. Arbeiterunfallversicherungsgesetz. Oh my God. Whew. That one was scary. Okay. Anti-disaster... Anti-disestablishmentarianism. Anti-disestablishmentarianism. Holy duck. I didn't know they have like such complicated words in the English language. Guys, I'm surprised. Okay, this one. I think I should sip some more zero alcohol beer, maybe something stronger. Now I regret for buying 0.0. Okay, I'm ready. Fødselsdagslykke. It was good. Honey cake horse. He was smiling like a honey cake horse. Honeykuchen. Honeykuchen pferd. Honeykuchen pferd. Honeykuchen pferd. All right. About that. Okay. Oh my God. No. Even the 0.1 has some alcohol in it. Bro, you know those stories from school, like when you drink zero alcohol or like Coca-Cola with a teaspoon, then like eventually you will get drunk. We all heard that. Усовершенствование. That one was easy. Усовершенствование. That is like in bureaucratic language, you hear that all the time. Anti-constitutional elements. Anti-constitution element. Oh, this is French. Oh my God. Anti-constitute. Okay. Do you spell T as T or T as S? Okay, because in German that would be spelled like S, I think. The anti-constitution elements. Okay. I've no idea, seriously. I've never spoken French in my entire life. I swear. All right. Iqaluit or Tukto Yaktuk. This is towns in northern Canada, which I am, of course, familiar with because I flew through Iqaluit 100 times in the Microsoft Flight Simulator, because that is literally the point where one of the stops, one of the legs between like on your road between like Iceland, Greenland, Canada, or back. So that's basically where all the airplanes fly through Iqaluit. Oh, all right. Coca-Cola has 0.000000099% cocaine in it. Yeah, I've heard that one too. I'm not Welsh, but it's... I give up. Okay, I already gave up on this one. What else? Hibiscus. Hey! That one, again, it was intimidating, but not really scary. Desoxyribonuclean diethylamide. I approximately know what you're talking about, okay? Like, approximately. By the way, is letter X even used in German language? Wait a minute. Because I don't remember that I've seen it, like, over the past year anywhere in German language. No, I don't. Guys, let me know. Okay, another. I accept this German challenge, all right? Matchbox. Oh my god. Oh my god. I knew that you were gonna say this one. Streichholzschächtelchen. Streichholzschächtelchen. Oh, almost there. Okay, I would not pass a test for, like, a spy in Eastern Germany, 100%, but at least I tried. Oh my mother of God. Okay. Anticonstitutional. What does it mean? Please let me know. Okay. Guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your beautiful words and congratulations. Aha, so German first names with X. Xavier Zantipe. Aha. Yeah, I've never encountered them, actually, never before. Like, of course, how could I miss this one? Sex, Laxa, and Lax, yeah. That's interesting. Eham, Schiphol, Amsterdam. Yeah, that was the one where I landed on A320 literally like 3 weeks ago. Maybe just a bit more. Let's play Twisted. All right. I need something stronger than zero alcohol beer. Guys, I need to finish this cake. I'm sorry. Okay. Oh, it was intimidating. I swear. I'm all sweaty here. Xylophone. Of course. Xenia is also a German name with X. I know, because like that's literally my ex. All right. I work at the airport helicopter base at ENBN. If you wanna have a look sometime. All right, deal. I will write it down. Actually, I'll make a screenshot of that so I don't forget. This is so cool. You know, I try to make like around the, not like around the world trip, but trip from Germany to Japan on a tiny on a tiny helicopter like R-22 Robinson, and there is this amazing add-on for such helicopters in Microsoft Flight Simulator made by Common Sim. I'm there in the Discord, by the way, and turns out that the maximum range for R-22 is approximately 250 nautical miles, and there are two places on my way between Germany and Japan, which I literally cannot cross. One being the Gulf of Oman, because if you want to cross it, you gotta either land in Iran, or you gotta cross it using a different aircraft, and another one in Burma or Myanmar, I think, in Myanmar. So those two places, you gotta have something better than R-22, of course. But R-22 is, my friend, not a death trap. It's a death itself. It's so cool. It will literally kill you as soon as you scratch your nose. Bo, thank you so much. Thank you so much, my friend. And Steven, thank you. We also have Mirko in the chat. My brother, how are you? Another good Swedish brother. It's a bad Swedish word. No more, please. This one, I start panicking. All right, I just give up immediately. That's too much for my RAM. Okay. Fancy Italian word for hurriedly. Precipitevolissimevolmente. Precipitevolissimevolmente. Or is it chi or key? I forgot this one. Oh my god. I remember I was in the school in Italy. I was like 10 years old, and they were like, okay, this is how you read chi, and this is how you read ki. Che chi, ke ki. And I was like, oh, this is so easy. And I forgot everything, literally. So sorry if I butchered this one. Okay. So, what do we do next? Next, I'll take a sip of beer, and then we will play another interesting game. You're gonna say your country, okay? I find this country on the map, and I tell you what I know about this country, because this is basically how we learn about each other. Death by chocolate cake. Yeah. Chocolate cake is a dangerous thing. Basically a weapon of mass destruction. Whew. It was good. It was good. I agree, my friends. The beer is so nice, by the way. Hey, Christopher, thank you so much. Hey, gracias. Feliz cumpleaños desde España y puedas ver a tu país libre. Libre. Well, libre. That's that's my German already, like starts, you know, engulfing my brain a bit. Ukraine. Okay, let's start with Ukraine. All right. There I have it on the map immediately. What do we know about Ukraine? Okay, USA, we will add this one. All right. Netherlands, we will add this one, of course. Scotland, Scotland, we'll say this one. Oh, what do I know about Ukraine? I know that you can find a lot of amazing people in Ukraine. One of them is here in this, actually, like several of them. Ivan Khashina, Rick the Ukrainian, Mirko Burtovy, several others. And Ukraine is a beautiful country. So, what you didn't know about Ukraine, probably, most probably, right? So, if you take a look here, you can see those like kick-ass forests, right? Like Korostень, Pripyat, Chernobyl, Rokitne. There's a bunch of forests, right? If you go here, you can see a lot of fields, literally. There's like fields, open space. Like look at this stuff. That is open land. If you go here, you can find something extremely cool, because these, my friends, oh my god, what happened? Get out of here. Not this one. Oh my god, no, no. Here. So if you go here, you will find a legit desert, all right? In the same country. Forests, fields, legit desert. But this one is cooler than other deserts because there are no lions, there are no jackals, there are no, I don't know, like other desert animals besides orcs, all right? Because this stuff is currently occupied, unfortunately. However, my brigade had military exercise back in my days in this very place. This is Oleski Desert. And besides that, of course, we have plenty of rivers and stuff. And if you go all the way to the west, right here, so this area of Ukraine is called Zakarpattia, but this region that we're looking at, all right, like this general region, this region is something that is known as Transylvania, Dracula. So this is where the dude lived himself, Vlad Tepes. So those are mountains, and for example, if you go to places like I don't know, Yaremcha, for example, there's legit ski resorts, so you basically can go there. There's like high mountains. This is, by the way, Hoverla, which is the tallest mountain in Ukraine. That is something like 1600 meter plus, right? And you can do ski, you can do whatever you like, fall from the mountains, get lost, which tourists always do, and sometimes even get eaten by a bear or a hungry hutsul. Hutsul is like a name for a wild Ukrainian. So this is what I know about Ukraine, and not only that. What else? What else? What else? Guys, I might miss some of the text, all right, in the chat, so don't hesitate to just add it one more time if I miss it. Okay, so what do I know about Scotland? I know that Scotland is a northern part of British Isles, kind of cold. They have amazing, amazing landscapes, especially, you know, those cliffs going all the way into the sea. Wind is crazy, especially there. Edinburgh is the place where Patrick McIntyre brings cars to Ukraine from, right? And also William Wallace, the Highlander. Here we are, born to be kings and the princes of the universe. What else? They speak in a very interesting way, all right? Which is extremely interesting. Like it's very, very interesting to hear. I think I've heard one of the hosts on the Times radio speaking like, you know, with Scottish way of speaking. And also, yes, Amazing Whiskey. Yeah, that's the one. I didn't really try it. Never in my life, actually. But maybe after the war, all right? So that's what I know about Scotland. Also, my God, what was the name of... just a second. Just I have it on the map anyways. Just a second. So in the Microsoft Flight Simulator, every time I try to cross Atlantic Ocean westwards, I go through this Inverness. I go through this airport right here. Like in this, here it is. Like this one. Inverness Airport. I love this one. So the wind is crazy. And why I'm saying that is because if you're trying to fly there on like an ultralight aircraft, that requires a lot of skills to do properly. Okay, what else? USA. USA. What do I know about USA? I know that there is 50 states, all right, 50 states in the USA. This one, Alaska, is actually very, very close to Russia. And I know that USA is a leading economy at this point, generally for the biggest part of the 20th century. I know that in the US you can find the most kick-ass museum for Museum of Aviation and Space, right? Which is Smithsonian Museum of Space and Aviation in Washington, D.C. And I also know that there is a different museum somewhere outside of Washington, as far as I remember. So it's really cool because you go inside, there is this huge kick-ass hangar, right? Inside of it, you can literally see airplanes hanging under the ceiling. And it was so cool. Oh my God. That museum was like the craziest thing I have ever seen. There's Space Lab. There is a copy of Apollo 11, the Eagle, all right? So that one is so good. I brought so many souvenirs from there, and I spent 2 days literally in that museum just surfing it. Wright's Flyer, right? The very first aircraft. Then German jet fighter, like one of the very first ones. That is crazy. So this is something you gotta visit. And generally speaking, in the United States, there is so many places, basically like in Ukraine. Of course, you have like mountains, you have deserts, and all that stuff, which makes Ukraine look very much like United States. All sorts of entertainment you can find there. You want to go to Las Vegas, in Ukraine, you can go to, like, I don't know, Kharkiv, for example, or in Donetsk. Actually, Donetsk looked pretty much like Las Vegas, in my opinion. So that's what I know. Vegas has Atomic Testing History Museum, and New Mexico has another. I think there's Smithsonian affiliate. Yeah. What else do I know? I know that the people in the South drink beer and speak like this, approximately. All right. I also know that the air traffic over, like, New York is crazy. All right. And what else? All right, Slava Ukraini says Turkey. Yeah. Oh my God. Hello, my friends. Hello, my friend from Turkey. What do I know about Turkey? Okay, let's check it out. So, you probably read some of the, like, old Greek legends, right? So little did you know that most of them took place there, in Turkey, because Turkey contains vast majority of all sorts of old ruins, amphitheaters, Roman, Greek amphitheaters. You can find all of them there. There's a lot of very interesting places. For example, like, how was it called? There is, like, a town that drowned, all right, that sank to the sea bottom, and when you go there, it's like the southern shore of Turkey around Kemer. So when you go there on a boat, you can literally see, like, ruins of like a town, ancient town, with stairs going down into the water in the middle of the sea. It's crazy. It's literally crazy. So there you can find a lot of different old places, old ruins. Bogadan, not Atlantis. It was called in a different way, and of course it wasn't Atlantis, but it looks really, really cool. And also there is the Church of Saint Nicholas, also known around the world as Santa Claus. So this church is very, very old, very old. And what makes this church interesting is that it was built on the place of the old temple of, I think, either Athena or Artemida, because when you look at, like, the church itself is old, right? It's like 3rd century, but the church itself, the ruins, so, like, on the floor, in the walls, you can find a lot of stones with ancient Greek letters, all right, like ancient Greek letters, and they were taken from the ruins of an ancient temple that was there before the church. How crazy is that? You can find it in the Google. It's so amazing. Bulgaria. All right. What I know about Bulgaria. So correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that this place was known in the ancient Rome as Thracia, and there were gladiators, Thracians or Thrakici, coming from this land, from Bulgaria. I might be wrong. Please correct me, because I might be wrong. All right. So this place was known for being like one of the trading legs, all right, between the Greek or later Roman Empire and this part of the world, the Turkey, and Philip Kirkorov, I think, was also born there, as far as I remember, but again, I can be wrong. Yeah, Frakia. So, generally speaking, all the people that Romans would take as slaves around that region, regardless if they come from like Turkey or territory of Romania, even Ukraine, they would call them Thracians, all right, Frakici, for some reason. I don't know, because they didn't care much, all right. Turkish words are easy; they're pronounced as they are written, but good luck. Oh yeah, that one scares me, my friend. I tried to learn Turkish language and I failed because the logic that the Turkish people use to build sentences completely destroyed my brain. It's something like it reminds the way Germans build sentences, but not very closely. It's a complete different thing. So you gotta have like completely different mentality, I think. At least I failed. All right, I tried for a while and I failed. Yeah, the most famous slave gladiator came from Thrace. Yeah. All right. Simon, hello, welcome back. We're talking about countries. Crazy grammar, not only crazy grammar, but also the way the sentence is built. Oh my god. I think that our friend may explain better than me because I couldn't really even understand. The Netherlands. All right, the Netherlands. There was a request for the Netherlands, also coming from our undercover pirates. All right. What do we know about the Netherlands, my friends? So many cool things. So first of all, let's scroll this way. All right. Uh, Again, I'm not really good at geography. The biggest reason I know those countries is either because I traveled there or because, like, I flew over those countries, all right, in the flight simulator. So, what do we know about the Netherlands? We know that they had some of the most kick-ass fleets back in the days. We know that Netherlands, the Dutch people are basically very, very good at building ships, but they're also very good at building aircraft because the Dutch aircraft Fokker, right? Fokker, guys. That Fokker, all right? So that airplane was built in the Netherlands. It was some of the most kick-ass jetliners that were generally used in the European Union. At this point, only several Fokker 100 and maybe just a couple Fokker 70 are still used nowadays by KLM and other operators. That's what I know. Also, very nice beer. 99.9% of Dutch people speak English. They speak literally English, German, Dutch, of course, Flandrian, all right. And the reason they do that is because they grow up in such an environment where they're surrounded by those languages. So you, whether you want it or not, you learn them because you're watching like English cartoons, you're speaking to German friends, and you grow up learning a lot of languages, something that I literally I envy so much. Okay, what else? Fokker. Yeah. The Netherlands joined NATO early. Yes, that one. Plus, they have some of the most kick-ass camel that I've seen back in my days. And again, beer is very good. Drivers, the car drivers are crazy. All right, they're all Schumachers. The roads are nice, and I remember, when you go to a place like this, for example, where is it, like Venlo, all right, so when you cross the border, like in this area, I noticed some very, very interesting effects. Okay, some extremely interesting effect. So, like, you drive from Germany and it can be like raining, low clouds and stuff. As soon as you pass the border between Deutschland and Netherlands, there's sunshine, birds singing, and you just look in your mirror and you see like those dark blue clouds behind you in Deutschland, and you're like, whoa, what kind of magic is that? And the same thing on your way back. I'm not kidding. I saw that like 3 or 4 times. On your way back, you return back to Germany, like sunshine in the Netherlands, birds singing, and then you just like experience this like shower, like your car, like this drumming drops of water against your windshield. You're like, oh my god, what the hell is that? And then you see this road sign saying Willkommen in Deutschland, and you're like, I'm home, all right. Netherlands has great Gouda cheese and waffles. Waffles, yes, that's the thing. Besides waffles, they have these interesting burgers that look like sausages, but they're not. They're burgers. And one of the coolest things about Netherlands is kibbeling. All right, kibbeling. It's a fried fish. It's a fried white fish in paneer. Okay, it's just so good. It's like fish with French fries with some specific sauce, like white sauce, like mayonnaise. It's like, this is my favorite thing ever. All right, if you want to make me happier, even like besides sushi, feed me with kibbeling. It's just so freaking nice. Red light district, of course, my friend. We've been there with my lady. It was interesting. There's like this like glass, and the ladies behind the glass, so like welcoming people on the street. Extremely interesting experience. I imagine, like, if for example it was like if we had something like that in Ukraine, right? Imagine like there's this lady, saying hello to the people passing by, and she's like, hello, hello. And then there's her grandma, and she's like, Grandma, what the hell are you doing here? And she's like, oh my God, look at you, you're so thin. I brought pierogi, I brought vareniki, some borscht, and she feeds her daughter right there. Like, don't get thin, all right? Don't get thin. Don't disappoint me. uh, Dutch sushi, aka herring. Kibbeling is the thing, all right? Kibbeling is the thing. Did it hurt turning 40? First of all, thank you so much for your congratulations. It didn't hurt at all. Hurt as much as turning like 21. Seriously. The difference between 16 and then you're 30, and then you're 40. Literally, there's no difference at all. Besides the fact that you can buy beer or things like that. So it didn't hurt at all. Since I turned 16, I don't feel any changes. Completely. So Germany is building now 3,000 new tanks, armored fighting vehicles, Merz and Rheinmetall go all in. Yes, yes, my friends, I've heard about that. I've heard that there was some tiny inquiry from Ukraine to Germany regarding the necessary defense aid. But there are some details about it regarding the air defense and tanks and stuff. But since this information officially is not disclosed, I cannot tell you anything about it. All right, Bruce, hello. You're not late, my friend. You are not. We are playing countries, actually. You tell me your country, and I find it on the map and tell you what I know about this country. And by the way, big thanks to all the members. Big thanks for your membership. Thank you so much. I like Holland. Seems like fun place. Lots of goods. Heavy metal. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. By the way, interesting fact. In Ukrainian language, we call Netherlands. Actually, we have like two names for it. It's Hollandia or Nederlanden, which is basically the same. But in like Slavic part of the world, they're generally referred to as Hollandia. I also noticed that the turkey, okay, but not the country, the bird. So in some countries, turkey is referred to as Indian bird. And in Ukrainian language, it sounds like indichka, which is basically like Indian bird, for the reason I cannot explain. Give your lady a kiss from us. I will. Thank you so much. Okay, Rick, thank you so much for visiting us. Be safe, brother. And we'll see you soon. So, what else? What else, guys? Name your country, all right? And I will tell you what I know. I know that there were people. Okay, we already did Scotland and the United States and Ukraine, surprisingly. What else? What else? Guys, I need your country. Let me know where you're from. Oh, what if the turkey was born in India? I think they like literally come from North America. I might be wrong though, but I think so. Monaco. Okay, okay. All right, guys, let me save this. Okay, Norway, Sweden. Oh my god, Norway, Sweden. All right, save this one. Lithuania, all right. Bangladesh, okay. Okay, I accept this challenge. Austria, Hungary, Quebec, generally Canada, all right. Germany. What else? Idaho, okay. Switzerland, Ireland, Brazil. Oh, nice. Louisiana. Okay, this is something I will learn. Calgary and Hungary, all right. And Finland and France. Okay, okay, we have a bunch of countries now. New Zealand, of course. Denmark, Estonia, okay. Finland and Sweden for the metal, of course. Portugal, all right, all right. Indian like Native American, that can be the thing. But on the other hand, why like in some languages it's called like Turkish bird and in some languages Indian bird? Why Turkish then? I don't know. No idea. All right. All right. Czechia. Okay. Let me save this one too. Cornwall, Southeast UK. All right, I will try. Russia, what is this place? Sounds familiar. Sounds familiar. All right. All right. Flashback here, Ukraine, my brother. We already talked about Ukraine. Max in the chat, by the way, my friends. You can say hello. We spoke with Max today, and Max got promoted. By the way, he's now big officer. So, Cornish hens, maybe, I don't know. Okay, let's start with, oh my god, I have like 30 countries. All right. Denmark. So, first of all, Denmark is a country that is located right here. The country is actually not really big, all right? It's kind of the size of Netherlands, maybe smaller just a bit. And it borders Sweden, all right? Because here you can see beautiful Sweden. And what I know about Denmark, I know that McDonald's is very cool. All right, we stopped at the McDonald's there on our way to Sweden last year. I know that Georgie from Ukraine Matters lives there, of course, my brother Georgie. I know that generally a lot of very, very cool people live in Denmark. Copenhagen, one of the coolest places I have ever landed at in the Microsoft Flight Simulator back in my days. But I must admit, I don't know about Denmark much. What I know, though, is that at some point, Swedish people and Danes were kind of fighting each other, you know, throughout years. But generally speaking, we all did, right? Back in the days. Take Ukraine, like Poland, Russia, Crimean Khanate, like yeah, but luckily for all of us, we don't do that now. Only like stupid people do. Now, what more can I say? But I will learn more about Denmark because I feel like this is not enough. England, my dear friends, England is part of the, my God, part of the United Kingdom right here. You can see that it's like southern part, right? So like London, like Oxford, like London, Norwich, Cambridge, all that is considered England. And over here in the southern parts of England, there's two interesting places, all right? The first one is Dover, right? So this city is connected through underwater tunnel with the French city of Calais. And also there's a ferry connecting these two cities, right? Um, besides that, oh my god, where was it? I think somewhere here. Let me find this one. I think like somewhere here. So that is, my god, Shoreham. Shoreham. Where the hell is Shoreham? Okay, Hastings, Little Common, Eastbourne. Where the hell is Shoreham? Must be somewhere here, I guess, because I haven't visited this place in the Microsoft Flight Simulator for years. Shoreham. Oh my god, I think I'm even looking in the wrong place. But nonetheless, Shoreham is like a very, very interesting and tiny airfield on the southern shore of England, which, if you fly airplane in the real life or not, you definitely gonna visit it because it's really, really cool and cute. What I'm come on, what I can tell about England? Oh my god, the language we like most of us speak there in the chat comes from that beautiful place. What else? London, all right, some of the biggest cities in the world. Also, Denmark has border to Canada. That is true, by the way. And what else can I say about England? Heroic people, World War II, they were bombed probably harder than Ukraine nowadays because there were those carpet bombings by German aviation, and London and a lot of other English cities were completely destroyed, thousands and thousands of people dead to those bombings. But just like we can see in Ukraine nowadays, they would not give a single damn about it. They would celebrate life because you only can be considered defeated if you just give up yourself. So the spirit of English people, that is something that I believe we also share just a bit in Ukraine, because seeing English people, seeing those pictures from London, 40s, late 30s, and watching them literally dancing like in the bomb shelters during the bombings, that is something so fantastic. This resilience is something that inspired Ukrainian people during this war. Hope Indians do not name them Turkey because they're easy to hunt. I have no idea, my friend. But I think in India they are also called something like Turkish bird. I might be wrong. Shoreham by Sea is next to Portsmouth. Ah, yes. Yes, apparently. All right, guys, let's switch to another country, which is Luxembourg. What do we know about Luxembourg? First of all, it's located right here between Germany and France. And Luxembourg itself is probably the size of Chechnya or Kiev Oblast. It's literally very, very tiny place. There's just several towns, the city of Luxembourg itself, and it's considered kind of expensive. It's also considered kind of a tourist spot, right? I know that you can even print your own money or something like that in Luxembourg. So this is something like this place is totally worth visiting, especially if like you received your salary and you want to spend it so much, very very fast. So that's what I know about this place. What else? Again, I gotta learn more about this one. Norway. So in Norway, and Norway is located, oh my god, right here. All right, let's scroll all the way north, like here. So one of the earliest flight simulators that I played as a kid was Eurofighter 2000 Typhoon, and in the scenery, in the plot of this game, all right, there were bases in Norway like Oslo Gardermoen, and others. And Russia kind of invades Norway, and you operate your Eurofighter 2000 fighter jet, striking like all sorts of strategic targets occupied by Russians and Russians themselves, and like shooting down Russian aircraft. So that is like what I remember since I was a kid about Norway. Norway is located on the north. It's kind of cold. There is this tiny place called Bergen, which is extremely beautiful. I saw pictures. I have friends in Bergen who sent me those pictures. And also, sometimes you can see aurora in Norway. That is also something that I know. What else do I know about Norway? Fishing is some of the biggest businesses in the area. There's all sorts of fish coming from Norway. Too cold for me, though. Too cold for me. I would visit it 100%. Could I live there? I doubt that, because I'm a gypsy. I need, hot places. All right. What else? The crazy thing, I became a grandmother today. Oh my god. Oh my god, congratulations. My friends, please say a couple of words. Home of Vikings, yes. But generally, Norway and Sweden, all right? And like Sweden, Norway, Denmark, a bit of Estonia, Finland, of course. Like those places, like in general, they're considered the place where Vikings came from, as far as I remember. All right, so what else? Sweden, of course. Beautiful Sweden, which is again extremely cool place. So, what Brandon Mitchell told me is that somewhere here, all right, between Sweden and Finland, somewhere here there are hiking trails, and basically you can walk like 1,000 kilometers from Finland through the forest to Sweden, which is so cool. A lot of forests. The place is extremely beautiful. And last year I've been to Sweden, to Stockholm. Also, I've been to another tiny town where I saw my cousin, my own cousin, with her family. And I haven't seen her probably, I don't know, like 20 years maybe. So it was very emotional, and people are extremely cool. The history, like in the very Stockholm, The city is very rich of all sorts of historic buildings. There's the castle in the downtown. There is the place where they found this enormous ship called Vasa, all right? And I had pictures of that. So Swedish king decided to build like the most kick-ass ship in the world, right? Like 300 years ago. And they built this ship, Vasa. And it was like enormous. It was big, it was beautiful. And then the ship went out of the dock. It made like several hundred meters and sank. All right. And it was stayed on the bottom of the ocean until 20th century when they decided to excavate it and they brought it back. And you have a museum of Vasa like almost in the downtown of Stockholm. The ship is intact completely, like with all the stuff, like with all those decorations. So you can go there and visit, and the very ship is so freaking big. I didn't know that old ships like those with the sails, they could be so enormous. And when I saw it for the first time, I was shocked. I was so much impressed, my friends. Greg Terry is in the chat. Hello, hello, my friend. How are you doing? We are talking about countries, all right? So, Sir... oh my God. Oh, do I remember Surströmming? I freaking do, because my leather jacket, all right, that I've been wearing that very night, it's still in my car, all right? So I remind myself about Surströmming every single time I get in my car. Yeah, but I survived, and I must say, wasn't that bad. Wasn't as bad as I expected, because it's a fish after all. It comes with gas, so not bad, all right? Greg, thank you so much. Thank you. Madeline, thank you, thank you. All right. Is it still ruined? The castle or Vasa? Surströmming is bioweapon, I can confirm. It can definitely kill. So please don't try it at home. Please use the help of a qualified expert on how to consume surströmming, or use it against your enemies, all right? That stuff is dangerous, absolutely. Stinky herring, oh yeah. Like, literally, I'm staying, like, recording all the guys. I can see Johnny FD literally vomiting under the tree and screaming. I can see Andrew Mercado, like, on the brink, you know, of vomiting. I can see Arthur Ray also, like, he's trying to stay chill, but I can see that it's very hard for him. And the stench is so bad that Angelika Bayer is like 20 meters away, all right? She's standing there smoking and it's like, I'm not coming closer. Fuck that, no way. Because it stinks so bad. It's like you're drowning in the sewer inside of it. Oh my God. It was kind of cool. It was intimidating, but cool. And Arthur Ray drank so much of it. Of course, we didn't eat surströmming because it turned into, like, this snot, like this goo. So we literally drank it. And because Arthur had the most subscribers among us, he drank like this whole glass of it. Holy duck, it was intimidating, guys. Oh my god. Okay. Next up we have Lithuania. Oh my god, I'm moving the wrong window. So Lithuania is here between Poland and Latvia, and unfortunately Belarus. So you guys are very brave, all right, because not only they're surrounded by their allies, all right, but they're also surrounded by Russia, which is Kaliningrad, and Belarusia, which is potato mustache man Lukashenko. And look at this tiny city of Kaunas, all right? Kaunas. So, remember on some of the previous streams, I told you the story of my family, and my mother, turns out, she lived in Kaunas when she was a little girl. So back in those days, for a short while though, she lived in Kaunas before moving to Verabove Kryvyi Rih, Ukraine, Soviet Union, which I'm not even sure if it was a good choice or not, but she lived in Lithuanian Kaunas, which basically makes me a bit of related to this beautiful country. And also I know that the beer is really good. And back in the days, here Andrew mentions Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. So basically, Lithuania, Belarus, and Poland, they were part of the same kingdom, like back in those days. And back in those days, I would say that it was like golden age for this area, for this territory. Basically, the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth is the cradle of all the most heroic tales and histories about it. And yeah, Kaunas, I would really like to visit it sometime, by the way. So hopefully that I will make it happen. Actually, I have like so many relatives there in Lithuania. So many. We're cousins. Yay! All right. Guys, is the music still playing? Wait a second. Just in case, I will just fix it because I think that it stopped. Of course, it stopped. All right. Let's have some music. Because otherwise it's very, very boring because, like, basically we don't have any updates today. We're just, like, sitting, drinking, and chatting. Okay. What else do we know? Bangladesh. Okay, my friends, I will tell you what I know about Bangladesh because I literally flew across Bangladesh in the Microsoft Flight Simulator just several weeks ago. So you can see this tiny, tiny place, right? Bangladesh. It's not big comparably, right? Okay, Google Maps, shut up. I don't want the... So, Bangladesh. So, in this tiny place that you can see on your map, right? lives more people than in this whole freaking land called Terra Russia. All right? The population of this piece of land, piece of territory that was like conquered from other people, the population of this whole land is smaller than the population of Bangladesh, and you can check it out. So what I know about Bangladesh is that people are extremely polite, extremely friendly, and the music is kind of cool. I was flying in the Microsoft Flight Simulator, I was flying the PA-24 Comanche over the Bangladesh A2A simulations, who knows. And I have this add-on that lets me hear, that lets me listen to the local radio stations. So basically, this is what I do when I fly in the virtual skies over a country, any given country. I'm just switching on that add-on, and I can literally hear the radio stations there on the ground, so I can enjoy the music. And I was can you please stop that elevator music? Okay, I will do it just for you in just a second, all right? And I've heard like the songs coming from some of the cities. Which was the city? Oh my god. I think it was like like here somewhere. Cox's Bazar. Yeah. Cox's Bazar. So I was flying over the city, and I've heard this very funny song called Mashallah. Do you guys? By the way, this is very important. Do you know the concept of Mashallah? Did I ever explain you the concept of Mashallah? So, mashallah is when something very good happens. For example, you can see like a squad of Russian motorcyclists getting toasted on the minefield. This is mashallah, all right? Or for example, when you can observe like drones striking like Kremlin, you look at that, and basically what you see is mashallah. So this is the concept of mashallah. Russian oligarch died, double mashallah, all right? Russian general died, triple mashallah. Quadruple mashallah can also exist, but I've never seen that. Yes, and I'm flying over that little town, and I can hear like this music. They play, and there's this like very like cheerful voice of the musician who sings "Mashallah, Mashallah." This was so funny. This was really cool. Mashallah is an Arabic praise expressing appreciation. Yeah, that's literally something like that. Something like that. So now you know the concept of mashallah. Okay. Next one, Austria. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Of course, Arnold Schwarzenegger, yodeling. Okay. If you have never heard yodeling Austrians, you gotta check it out. Milk, chocolate, beer, all right, mountains, and amazing forests. So basically, that's Austria. And what else? Very cute transport, actually, like buses, like trams. You know, that's very cute. What else do I know? What else do I know? Yodeling mentioned. Yeah, yodeling, guys, check it out. It's just so cool. Caitlin TA, thank you so much. Thank you. Wiener Schnitzel. Ja, genau. Wiener Schnitzel. Mozart chocolate balls. Genau. What else? Hungary. Hungary is. Oh my god, it's not in China, of course. All right. Hungary is a neighbor of Ukraine, right? Like here you can see between Uzhgorod and roughly saying Vinohradev. That is a tiny, tiny span of border separating our beautiful countries. And what can I say about Hungary? Budapest is, of course, a beautiful city with rich, sometimes tragic history. Again, our amazing Russian neighbors. And language is so interesting and so, I would say, unique, right? Because, for example, take Ukraine, take Bulgaria, take Poland, Slovakia, and all the way west to like Bosnia, Serbia, Croatia, even Slovenia, Czechia, right? We have more or less similar words, right? So you can understand quite a few words. In Hungary, like it's a completely different story, at least from what I've heard, because it doesn't sound like anything else. Very interesting thing. So I think I should learn more, right? Because generally speaking, like, look, Hungary is Ukraine's my God, Ukraine's neighbor, Romania, Ukraine's neighbor, and Slovakia. For some reason, I didn't know much about those countries at all. For some reason, and I know it's a big gap in my education, but for some reason, I never learned much about them. So I gotta fix this gap. Quebec, Canada. All right, let's check out Quebec, Canada. Magyar, yeah. My God, Ukrainian, famous, legendary Ukrainian drone operator, Magyar. Magyar, this is how Hungarians are called in the West Ukraine, mostly. And Budapest is generally very beautiful city. Very beautiful. I would say that somewhat like Kiev, somewhat. Goulash. Ah, yeah. Oh my God. How could I miss that? Of course. Of course. Dvorak, great composer. Yeah, we have a street of Dvorak in Kiev, as far as I remember. But I admit I gotta learn more. Again, like neighbors, we live next to each other like my whole life and more, but to my surprise, I never learned more about those countries, so I gotta fill this gap as soon as possible. What else? We have Quebec, Canada, all right? So from this place, from Europe, let's switch all the way across Atlantic Ocean to Canada, specifically this region, Quebec, all right? So this place is mostly, and please correct me if I'm wrong, this place is mostly French speaking. As you probably know, in Canada, people speak two languages. There's English and French language. And Quebec and generally like eastern Canada, again, as far as I know, never been there, but they speak French language. Also, if you go like all the way here, oh my god, where was it? Where was it? Will I find this place? Like it's not a Microsoft Flight Simulator planner. That's why I cannot tell you like where the location of all the airfields, because there's a lot of big and small airfields. But I think somewhere here in like this location somewhere, there was a tiny airfield that I used on my way from Greenland to Canada, because like this place you can see here is almost 500 nautical miles, which is a lot. Not every airplane can withstand that. So Quebec, that is basically all I know about this place. I know that the place is generally huge, a lot of forests, basically tundra, right? A lot of uninhabited places, swamps, forests, perfect place to do bush flying. And if you love nature and mosquitoes, you gotta go check this place. Absolutely. Canada is world's second largest country, and at the same time, some of the least inhabited country, least populated, which means that the amount of people on the square kilometer of territory is kind of tiny. Goose Bay, my friend, is in a different place. It's like southeast of Quebec, as far as I remember. But I remember that one, yeah. I think Quebec is bigger than France. I'm not sure, but maybe. Generally, but France is also big. It's some of the biggest countries of Europe, which only rivals with Ukraine in terms of the territory, okay, in terms of its area. R, thank you so much. Thank you. Also, there's a lot of native people, right? Peter, thank you so much. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. There's a lot of native people there, all right? Generally, like northern part of Canada, that's a place where you can find like indigenous people in that area, which is extremely cool. Vikings were there too. I've heard that. I've heard that. I cannot confirm or disconfirm this one, but at least I saw that. I've heard that. Lady K, thank you so much. I remember I was like asking the AI when I was exploring that place in the Microsoft Flight Simulator. I was asking the AI about like what's the coolest local cuisine and stuff. Unfortunately, I forgot because I have dementia. So Germany, oh my god, where is this place? Let me see. So Germany, located in the very heart of Europe. Generally speaking, my friends, when you talk about Europe, all right, like the most stereotypical Europe, that is basically Germany. When you say Germany, you imagine Europe for some reason. And oh my god, my cake is melting. I'm sorry. Let me just take a bite and I will continue. Right. So, beautiful country, beautiful forests, and the coolest thing about it is that there's so many castles, so many historical sites. For example, if you go, oh my god, where was it? Düsseldorf, Kerpen. Aha, here. For example, this one is considered some of the biggest quarries in the world. And I've been there. I saw it with my own eyes. Guys, this place is insane. Like, look at this. And that's, by the way, the place where I've been. This is enormous. I've seen like airplanes flying, you know, over this place, trying to cross it. Holy smokes. Something worth seeing, all right? And also, if you go, for example, somewhere like here, Aachen, for example, some of the coolest historical places, they have that huge cathedral, right, in Aachen. And also they have a museum of their treasures and history, something like that. Really cool. And of course, zoo, because when you go to a different town or city in Germany, of course, you gotta visit the zoo, because Germans have a zoo in every town, wherever you go, right? So, like Köln, Aachen, anything. Where was it? I think it was here somewhere, place called Xanten. Where was it? Yes. So if you go to Xanten, what makes this place so interesting in Germany is that there is enormous museum of Roman history, because in Xanten they found remains of an ancient Roman city with all sorts of stuff, with like amphitheater, with the arena where they had those fights between gladiators. They found houses, they found remains of like people, of old armor, a lot of very, very interesting things. So if you're interested in history like I am, you gotta check out Xanten. You're gonna love it. Absolutely. Because it's just so cool. It's such a cool historical place, right? So you gotta check it out 100%. And generally speaking, what else can I say about Germany? I can say that the tastiest beer in my life that I've ever tried comes from this beautiful place. I hope Irish people don't hate me for that. And I hope that our Belgian friends also don't hate me for that. I liked the Belgian beer, of course, but the German beer, I love it. I just enjoy it so much. Yeah, Emperor Charlemagne plays a palace in Aachen. Worth visiting 100%. If you're there, you gotta love this town. It's just so tiny. You know, we've been to Aachen, and it reminded me of, you know what, of like Skyrim for some reason. I don't know. Like, or even like the Elder Scrolls Oblivion, like the Imperial City. Doner kebab, of course, like the most widespread thing, the most widespread fast food that you can find in Germany, and basically anywhere in Europe, is amazing doner kebab. Absolutely. Biva, thank you so much. Thank you so much, my friend. Solidarność. Dziękuję bardzo. Dear Ireland, I'll enjoy enough Irish whiskey to make up any shortages. Absolutely. What's next? Germany, all right, we talked about it. Of course, Germany. Bratwurst, Currywurst, all those things, something that makes it special. Idaho. And this is where you caught me, all right, because I have literally no idea where this state is. All right, let me find it. I know that the United States are big. So it's here. It's here. What do I know about Idaho? Literally nothing. Let me see. All right. First of all, it's so cool. Like, for example, if we take bordering Wyoming, right? Look at the border of this state. The state is literally like a rectangle. How cool is that? Where else can you find such things? As for the Idaho, northwestern US state, known for mountainous landscapes and vast swaths of protected wilderness and outdoor recreation areas. So next time I'm flying in the Microsoft Flight Simulator, I know where to go, because right away I can tell you that there is quite a few interesting places, because they have mountains, they have craters, and they have fields. So they have plains and mountains and some very interesting areas that may be very, very cool to explore. Bora Peak. Wow. Guys, check this out. Bora Peak. Literally, United States is a really cool place to like make movies. Like, I'm being Captain Obvious here, but on the other hand, guys, when you have so many different types of landscapes and cool places, but maybe not too many older towns, right? But when you have so many really, really cool landscape, you can literally make all sorts of movies. Again, deserts, swamps, mountains. It's really cool. It's really cool when you have such a diversity. So, Idaho has some of the most beautiful national parks and state parks with trails that you can actually hike, unless you're getting eaten by a bear, I believe, or a mountain lion. Do you have mountain lions there, by the way? Let me know. Because the other day I watched like a documentary on YouTube about the craziest encounters with the bears. And what can I say? They're nasty. In Ukraine, we also have bears, by the way, my friends. But they are not really dangerous, all right? I remember one time, I think I told you that story, we had a camp in the Carpathian Mountains, and late at night, for some unknown reason, I decided to go all the way down, again, at night, without any flashlight or anything. I decided to go all the way down from the mountains to the tiny stream to get water and make tea on the campfire. And I've heard this sucker literally like stomping like 10 meters away from us. And when I got up, the dude started running away like crazy. could be bear, because like the thuds were so majestically heavy, so could be the bear, but generally they're not really aggressive. I think Hutsuls are more aggressive than them. Aha, so there are mountain lions in all 48 main states. Really? Oh my god. I think that Ukraine comparing to the United States is like so, I would not call it safe now, but generally, because you can literally go out at night into the forest, and the only thing that can kill you is probably either like a big snake if you step on it, but you gotta like jump on the snake to make it bite you, like a viper, or if you encounter some, I don't know, like drunk dude from Ust-Pizdusk, that might be dangerous at times, or like some, I don't know, drug addict Afanasi, who has like, hangover or something. But other than that, nothing in Ukraine can kill you. You can literally go to a forest and sleep there naked, all right? And nothing bad will happen, besides maybe like you will get bitten very, very bad by mosquitoes, because mosquitoes in Ukraine are nasty. But other than that, nothing, nothing bad. We do have wolves, we have brown bears, but again, I don't remember even a single case of a brown bear ever eating a person. Maybe I'm just not that acquainted, all right, with the Zakarpattia, but I don't remember that. Lynx, yes, but like they won't attack you unless you're a kid, maybe like 5 years old, then they might try. Boars may be nasty, all right, but I'm not sure that boars live in the mountains. Moose, yes, we have those. They might charge at you, but again, those such events are so rare in Ukraine, being like hit by a moose or like, I don't know, mauled by boar. That is just so rare. Chernobyl wolf dogs, again, that is but a legend, all right. We already talked about it. Hutsuls basically, yeah, Hutsuls are the most dangerous creatures that you can encounter in Zakarpattia, especially the place like Kolomia, for example. They will be like beating the crap out of you and playing Supilka at the same time. They're dangerous, all right. Have you ever seen a timber wolf? Only animal that scares the crap out of me. I saw one size of a small black bear and it was moving at a vehicle speed. I've heard about timber wolves. I'm not sure if they live in Yellowstone. I know that there's a lot of different wolves in the Yellowstone Park, but I've heard about timber wolves. I didn't know that they can be that big, actually. But yeah, they are nasty. They're huge. The wolves in Ukraine are not that big, actually, and from what I know, again, not many cases of wolves in Ukraine actually attacking people. However, in Chernobyl area specifically, they multiply like crazy because there's a lot of nature, there's no human whatsoever, so there's a lot of game, a lot of prey, right? So they multiply like a motherfucker. Mushrooms are more dangerous than animals, 100%. Mountain lions wander, but many states don't have many. More likely to see a bear. Even regular black bears can be dangerous and eat you. 100%. That's why you should always carry a bear spray. Good against bears and nasty people as well. I was out once in the hedgerows of England, and presumably someone's boa constrictor went past in the grass. Really? It was like 5 meter. Oh, 5 meters. It stretched. Yeah, yeah. Now I know why not to count the eggs as chickens. I didn't know that they can be so big, actually. Yeah, black mold that eats everything. That shit is nasty, my friend. That shit, like, if you have a black mold in the house somewhere, you gotta remove the house completely because you cannot remove it. And like everybody knows that. All the architects, engineers, they know that. You gotta just remove the house, you know. All right. What else? What else, my friends? Idaho. All right. We saw Idaho. Switzerland. All right. Let's teleport to the Switzerland. This is a really interesting place. All right. So Switzerland is basically mountains, and they have some really kick-ass views there in the Alpine Mountains. The coolest place in Switzerland is located over here on the shore of the lake. This city is called Geneva, and it's so beautiful. So, of course, it borders France, as you can see there, very, very close. In Switzerland, they speak several languages, including French and Deutsch. But one thing that you probably don't know about Switzerland that I want to share with you, my friends. So back in the days, when we've had like Landsknecht, like those guys in Germany, when we had noble knights, and a bit later in the period towards the Renaissance, Switzerland became very, very famous for one interesting thing. So they decided to adopt the culture of being mercenary and turn it into a profession. So guys from Switzerland literally had families that literally all they did was training to fight, training how to operate a spear, a dagger, an axe, sword, of course. And Switzerland is known for being a cradle of mercenaries, of blades for hire. Literally, you can imagine families with like their logos, their flags. They would get hired, for example, to guard Vatican, right? And they made this their own profession, which is exciting because, of course, there were mercenaries back in the days, but only in Switzerland they turned it into a profession, into like a legit profession. So this is something cool about Switzerland, which I was told by Swiss pikemen, those guys. Swiss mercenaries became the Swiss guards for the Vatican. So those guys were badass. Those guys were dangerous. I've been told this by a historian, actually, from Ukraine. I had a friend who would visit my brigade, for example, or like multiple other brigades, and he would tell about Cossacks. So he would bring the Cossacks, the Cossack clothes, like the real ones, historically correct ones, right? He would bring a musket. He would show how to shoot it. He would bring a bow and arrows, and he would make a presentation. He would explain how it all worked back in the days, what was like the usual weapon of Cossacks and things like that. It was so fantastically interesting, guys, because usually you can see Cossacks. Right, I will show it. Just a second. Oh my god. Cause I'm sorry, guys. I don't have I don't have Ukrainian keyboard here. So one thing you should know about Cossacks, all right? When you see, for example, and I'll probably like destroy your world right now. Let's take this one. So when you see, for example, a guy wearing those huge, enormous pants, so that's basically a fairy tale, because real Cossacks didn't really look like that. Like those like huge pants that you can see on the picture, they kinda only emerged in this very shape like in the 20th century. All right, like in the ensembles, all right, dancers or things like that, because they never looked like that. Ukrainian Cossacks were generally speaking wearing like normal pants, all right, not that big. In Ukrainian language, they're called sharovary. In Persian, by the way, it's also called sharovar. But Ukrainian Cossacks didn't really look like that. And I will try to prove it to you, all right? Okay, let's find Bopulan Ukraina, all right? Look at those guys. Basically, that is how Ukrainian Cossacks look like back in the days. Nothing like those crazy huge pants. Literally, I don't really know how those pants emerged in Ukrainian culture, and I don't really think that they are very much Ukrainian culture by itself. But Ukrainian Cossacks were wearing, were wearing like normal pants, not necessarily that big. Colors like white, black, red, maybe, I don't know, because paint, and especially paint for clothes, were kind of rare back then, back in those days. So the Cossacks that are usually portrayed like wearing those huge pants, that is not really historically correct. So that is one thing that you should know. That is something that I was impressed to find out, actually. It's like caricature of gypsy fortune teller. Could be. Could be. Lady Bear, thank you so much. Thank you very much. Cos, thank you. Thank you, my friend. So this is something that I've learned, and something that I was impressed to learn, because I didn't even like care much, you know, but that's what I've been told. And also, there were several stories about Cossacks that were known as Charakterniks, Ottoman Ivan Sirko. Again, I was impressed to learn about those from like actual historian, from like historical perspective, because they were maybe I will make a separate episode on my channel and I will talk about it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, my friend. Rock Cologne tomorrow. I will try. I will try. I promise. You had better clothes back then and took better care of them, of course. And another reason why we've had so many clothes like back then, usually why people were wearing so many clothes, is because there was quite a kind of minor ice age back in 16th, 17th century. So usual summer temperature in summer in Ukraine was around 16 degrees Celsius, all right? That's why you can often see people wearing like a lot of clothes, regardless of time of the year, regardless of the period of the year. So yeah, it was really cool. And thank you so much. Yeah, Cossacks were known for their horsemanship, but most of all, again, historically, according to historic sources, they were known for being kick-ass riflemen. All right, so they were musketeers, they were riflemen, and they were very, very well known for being an infantry, because there are several excavation sites, for example, where the archaeologists found a lot of remains of Ukrainian Cossacks, like in a swamp, Swamp is really good for preserving different things from the past. And surprisingly, they found so many muskets and almost no sabers at all. However, when you look at the logo of Cossack siege, of Zaporozhian Cossacks, you can see like a Cossack with musket and the saber. But turns out that Cossacks trusted more in muskets and firearms than the bladed weapons, which again is very surprising. I didn't know it myself, but it's a historical fact, as it turns out. Ireland. All right, let's talk about Ireland. Here it is. Okay, so Ireland is the cradle of the Guinness beer, also Kilkenny beer, which I tried and it wasn't bad. Irish whiskey, unique accent, all right, unique English accent. Actually, there are two sorts of like two primary sorts of Irish accent that you can hear in this land. Of course, they're a bit different from like place to place, but generally there's like two. And also Gaelic language is a language that is spoken by not many people in Ireland, but it's an extremely, extremely cool language that has surprisingly several words that sound pretty much like in Ukrainian language that I don't remember, unfortunately. What else do I know about Ireland? I know that the people in Ireland are so cool, and they kind of like Ukrainians in a way. Because when you look at Ukrainians, you see that Ukrainians they don't smile much like other Europeans, right? they are kinda suspicious. They would look at you with like suspicion. All right. You can see a lot of guys, like those big guys standing there on the corners, smoking, walking their pit bulls and stuff. So we have a lot of that in Ukraine as well, in Kiev, for example. Also, yes, Benjamin says offshore companies, of course. Also, in Dublin, we have an office responsible for YouTube, for our sector of YouTube, right? And also, we have an office responsible for Facebook, generously populated by Russians, by the way. So that is another interesting thing. What else do I know about Ireland? Oh my god. In Dublin, there is an extremely, extremely cool place known as Blarney Stone Pub. So if you're there, guys, get some Guinness and relax. That is an extremely cool place where you can hear all sorts of music. There's a lot of artists and musicians playing live. So back in my time, back in my days, I used to play this online. It's not like game. It's like 3D multiverse called Second Life. Raise your hands, my dear friends, if you remember this shit, because it's still there, right? I made my account in 2008 and it's still there. So in Second Life, there was this beautiful location. Oh my god, virtual Dublin with Guinness Factory, and of course Blarney Stone Pub, which is still there. It's like a copy paste of the real Blarney Stone Pub, which is ran by the Blarney Stone Pub personnel. And what can I say? It's a really, really, really cool place. Music is really cool. So yeah, Ireland. Guinness is the only beer I will drink because it's nutritious. You don't only drink Guinness, you eat Guinness. Oh, you do remember the Second Life? That shit is crazy. That is like I don't know what to compare it to. It's not like a game. It's basically like a virtual reality for people around the world. It's an interesting place, actually. I remember that when I started playing music myself, all right, the virtual London, actually, in Second Life was the very, very first place where I had my first live concert. It was crazy. Kilkenny beer is also nice, 100%. I liked it more than Guinness. Actually, don't kill me. I liked it a bit more. I don't know why. Maybe just a matter of taste, really. Maybe maybe I'm just a peasant who doesn't understand uh, the philosophy behind Guinness. Maybe one day that could be. All right, Brazil, my dear friends. Let's check it out. So the land of beautiful Brazil is, as far as I remember, the biggest country in the Southern America. I hope I'm not wrong. Yes, at least it looks like this. So, what makes Brazil known and popular in Europe, my friends? The fact that if you fly modern airlines in Europe, Why are we doing geography? That is literally because people tell me the name of their country, and I'm trying to find it on the map and tell our friends what I know about their country, because I don't know much, as it turns out. Yeah, so returning to Brazil. Brazil is known for producing some of the most kick-ass jetliners that are widely used nowadays, such as, oh my god, ERJ or E-Jets. Embraer is a Brazil-based airplane manufacturer, extremely cool and very like widely popular in European Union. So if you've ever flown like regional aviation, then I give you like 90% that you were on board of an Embraer. That is like most of the information I know about Brazil. Yeah, but I also know that they have kick-ass carnivals, so they have Brazilian bikini waxing. Ah, I gotta check it out. Maybe I need myself. Sepultura. Yeah, that's the thing. So Brazil is also the cradle of two amazing bands which were known as Sepultura and Soulfly. I believe that Sepultura is still there. Soulfly, I'm not sure. I'm not following Soulfly much because Max Cavalera is a stupid motherfucker. So Max Cavalera is married to a Russian woman, and this Russian woman made Max Cavalera go to the Russian Orthodox Church in the land of Brazil. And logically, as you can probably understand, Max Cavalera became a fucking vatnik, and on his concerts he shouts Crimea is Russia and things like that. So that's why I don't respect Soulfly anymore, even though they were my inspiration, all right, back in my times. But yeah, Soulfly died to me. And generally speaking, like playing a guitar with just like fourth strings, that is kind of yeah. At the same time, Sepultura still rocks, still kicks ass. I don't remember if they were saying anything against Ukraine. And Sepul Nation, one of the coolest albums of Sepultura that I still enjoy big time. And their vocalist is so cool. He's kick-ass. All right. Besides Brazil, we have Louisiana. All right. All right. Let's teleport just a bit here, and we can see Louisiana over here. What can I say about this place? Okay, wait a second. Yeah, I know that it's a different state, but I wonder, is it here or is it not? Just a second, just give me like 1 minute. Aha, it's not here. Yeah, so the closest I've been to Louisiana in the Microsoft Flight Simulator, for example, is Dolphin Island, because here, right here, you see they have an airfield. Jeremiah Denton Airport. And it's a really cool airport because it's literally like in the water, all right? So this is where I landed several times during my flights, all right, in the Microsoft Flight Simulator. That is the closest I've been to Louisiana. Other than that, don't know much, unfortunately. I know that it's a southern state, so you have a specific way of saying things. All right. I butchered it, I know, because I don't practice. Yeah. National forest. Ah, that one is interesting. Cypress and pine tree forest in the bayous with hiking, bird watching, camping, fishing, and more. Dogs allowed. This is so cool. This is something that I like about the United States so much, is literally that you can just go and disappear in the bush, literally. Like you can just go hiking. There's like this wild camping, which is something that we have in Ukraine. In Germany is different, because in Germany there's everywhere like this fences. You cannot go there, or you will be shot. Just kidding, of course. But in Germany, there's no wild camping. In Germany, there's basically like camps that can be literally in the middle of the town. All right. There are camps in the parks and stuff like that, but it's not like you can go out with your tent somewhere and just relax, which I think may be like a proper thing on the other hand, because that is the reason why they don't have many like forest fires in Germany and things like that. You can buy fresh gator alligator meat in Louisiana. I tried alligator meat, actually. I did, and it wasn't bad. Jeff sent me some packs of that alpaca meat and alligator meat. It was kind of cool. Yeah. Where I live, there's way more nature than that. Oh. So it's really nice. And of course, it's very nice that you have a shore. So basically, you can rest at the beach somewhere. This is so nice. Oh my god, Tom, congratulations. Happy birthday, my friend. Happy birthday. I've seen like two or three people already from our community who celebrate birthday today. This is so cool. Okay. What else? Okay, there was Hungary. France. Let's talk about France. What do we know about this beautiful place? So, first of all, France is like, if you look at France and Ukraine, they kind of compete in terms of territory, because both France and Ukraine are freaking big, right? So if we are talking about France together with French Guyana, then of course France is considered biggest country of Europe. But if we're talking about France without French Guyana, like literally the continental France, then Ukraine is kind of bigger, just a bit. All right. So what I know about France: beautiful wine, cheese, oh my god, music, chanson, oh, Napoleon. And Napoleon, by the way, is so much respected in Poland. In Russia, like, they hate Napoleon. In France, they love Napoleon. So they have like streets of Napoleon, squares of Napoleon, things like that. Besides Napoleon, Gauls, Franks, basically dudes who invaded Rome and destroyed it. What else? Frog legs I tried. Very tasty, especially with garlic sauce. Oh my god, I'm drooling right now. Cheese I already mentioned. Jacques Cousteau, my whole childhood, went in front of the TV watching Jacques-Yves Cousteau and his team exploring the global ocean. That is, all my knowledge about the global ocean comes from the Jacques-Yves Cousteau. Crepes, yeah, those things as well. I learned how to cook them, by the way. I think I already bragged about it. What else? Gendarme. Okay, let's talk about gendarme. So, gendarme were professional military. And the difference between like military and gendarme was that, well, military, this is a dude who like lives in his village and does whatever the hell he does. And then in case of war, he gets mobilized, where his armor, takes a sword, and goes to a war. Gendarme were basically professional guards. They received money for being in service, all right, all the time. And Ukrainian National Guard is basically built or based on French gendarmerie and Italian carabinieri. So we have a lot in common from this perspective as well. French guys, I remember they once visited HOSTOMEL and we did some kind of tour for them. And they were kind of cool, all right? They were kind of cool. Yeah, and of course, as the guys mentioned there in the chat, there's French Foreign Legion, of course, Jeanne d'Arc, right? Her story is, of course, extremely cool. So what more can I say? French language. I did, this tiny and extremely cautious attempt to learn a French language on Duolingo, and I failed dramatically, with the Turkish language, so I didn't try after that. Hello, my friend. Thank you so much. Thank you. I remember, was it like it was Euro 2012, 2011, or 2012? I cannot tell. But so we had kind of, I worked at the television at the football channel in Ukraine. And I remember I couldn't call myself a football fan much at all. Sorry, to those who live like across the pond, we're talking about soccer, all right? So I couldn't call myself a football fan, but I watched this amazing match between France and Ukraine, and it was so freaking intense, because it was like, I believe, 2-2, Ukraine was leading. Ukraine scored 2 goals in the first time, and in the second time France scored 3. How crazy it was. And we were sitting there with the friends drinking beer, and that was like one of the times when I enjoyed watching football. If you're taking questions, any country on your bucket list to go to? A lot of countries, actually. I don't know. I barely visited like a handful of countries in Europe. I want to go to France. I want to visit Croatia, of course. I want to go to Bosnia. I want to go to Albania, Greece, Hungary, Czech, Slovakia, of course, because in Czechia there's this office of Ukrainian developers, GSC, who created Stalker and Stalker 2. So those guys are very, very cool. And I would definitely like to go there as well. And Poland, of course. I've been to Poland several times before. My lady hasn't been to Poland, and I promised her to show around sometime in the future. Okay, we have 6 more countries on the list. New Zealand. What do I know about the beautiful New Zealand? It's in the Pacific Ocean. It's like this country is the most protected against Russian invasion because literally, oh my god, literally it's so far away from them. All right. So the coolest thing about New Zealand is that they have very rich history of Maori people, and Kiwi living in New Zealand learn the language of Maori, their dances, their culture, which is extremely, extremely cool. Also, the Lord of the Rings, the movie, was made in New Zealand, actually. They have that incredibly beautiful territory with mountains, all that landscape, where they made that movie, and it's extremely, extremely cool. Also, the accent is kind of cute, all right? Maori Haka is something that you should definitely check out on YouTube if you're not familiar with it, but I don't know. You gotta definitely check it out. What else do we have? Estonia, all right. What do we know about Estonia? We know that there's a very, very big threat right now in Estonia. And this threat is, it comes from the Russian diaspora living in Estonia. So what's the problem? What's the deal with the Russians in Estonia? The deal is that they don't want to learn Estonian language because why, right? That is like one thing that separates Russians from the rest of the world is that if they go to like United States, they fucked learning English language. They don't care. All right, they literally don't care about this. So they would rather like let them learn Russian better. Okay, I don't give a fuck. So they are extremely arrogant, and that's the same story in Estonia, actually. Claire, hello. Thank you so much. Thank you. Join our little party. I have like the remains of the cake for you, but I will eat it myself, of course. Yeah. So in Estonia, they don't want to learn local language. They don't want to assimilate. They don't want to accept the culture and basically become Estonians. That is the reason why they have problems with their passports. They don't really have right to vote as other local people, right? And if we're talking about a possible hybrid war that can start in the Baltics, so we're talking about a hybrid war using the same scenery, same plot as in Ukrainian Donbass, that can basically start in Estonia with like little green man, right? Because the Russian border is so close, and there, for example, you can see this terror Russian town of Pskov, and this town is known for hosting Pskov Airborne Division. Those are the same idiots that were trying to storm Hostomel that very day, and they died. So that is one thing. Also, in Tallinn, they have a museum with a submarine, and there's like actual submarine that you can check out yourself. You can go inside, you can like walk around. It's not really like a World War II submarine, but still very interesting to see. And also, what else can I say? Arthur Rehi, my God, Ragnar Sass, all the proper folks, they're there. They come from Estonia, right? This is the truth, by the way. In Soviet times, the Russian language was the preferred language, and they discouraged others speaking their native language, not only in the university, but generally everywhere. In all the spheres of your life, if you spoke your native language, they would look at you as if you were like a Untermensch. And this is unfortunately the truth. That is the reason why, for example, there are Russian-speaking people in Ukraine, because they were raised like this, right? They were forced to speak Russian language. This is what they call the Russification. Doesn't Chicago still have a German U-boat? I'm not really sure about Chicago, but I know that there is like a legit German U-boat, literally 3-hour drive from my place. And it's so cool. You can literally go inside. They made doors in the side of the submarine, so you can go inside, walk all the way from stern to bow. And it's so cool. I want to visit this place one time. Yo, thank you so much, JM. I appreciate it. And KP, thank you so much to you too. And Joe G, thank you, my friends. Yesterday, I researched 20 Latvian YouTube channels. They all were speaking Russian. Yeah, that is an unfortunate fact, but it doesn't surprise me at all. Suzanne, thank you so much. Thank you. We have a Japanese sub in Australia. That's interesting, by the way. I don't know much about Japanese submarines. I know that they had them, but were they cool or not? Did they use any of like German inventions, for example? Because German submarines were basically, I don't know, they were so geniusly made back in those days. And basically, German submarines were the reason why Winston Churchill could not sleep at night. However, eventually they became outdated with the progress, with the military equipment, with radars emerging in the British aviation as well as American fleet and American aviation. German submarines kind of became outdated because they couldn't compete much, with those guys. Yeah, but for their time, like 1939, 1940, all the way, I would say, to 1942, 43, submarines were like a crazy weapon used by the Germans back in those days. Yanis Podolyanis, thank you so much. And Frank, thank you very much, my friends. Many German submarines were transferred in 1945 to Japan. Ah, that's interesting. I didn't know about that. That's cool. Aha, World War II Japanese subs were for a single person that drive into Sydney Harbor and shoot at the houses. That's crazy, actually. The way, Japanese despised death, actually, and all that culture of I don't know, like since the samurai times, they had this cult of death within the samurai society, and the way they perceived death, it was something completely different from us. You know, when you go to a war and you're in the middle of combat, and like you are afraid all the time. You are soaked with fear, literally. The only thing that can save you is basically your training. All right, your like reflexes, your instincts that you acquired in the training camp. That is why training is so much important in the army. But Japanese, to them, death was something absolutely different. They were dreaming about it, literally. They were dreaming of like sitting in this huge flying rocket, basically like airplane, only with like this huge warhead in the nose of the airplane. And they were anticipating this moment when they would crash into an American aircraft carrier or something like that. This is something so hard to understand for Europeans, for example. So I spent a lot of time reading Bushido. I spent a lot of time reading not Japanese but Chinese philosophers, Chuan Zhou, and still hard to understand. Of course, Japanese culture is so different from Chinese, so different. They have like this very very specific views on things like death. You know, coming from those old times of samurai who literally, like I don't know, in mentality of a European soldier, you gotta do everything to survive, right? In mentality of Japanese samurai, you gotta do everything to die. You know, like this sort of thinking, and this is something so unique and so crazy when you think about it, but very very interesting at the same time. And my dear friends, please listen to Mikko Raumala, who says, while we are in Estonia, don't forget to support 69 Sniffing Brigade. And also there in the chat, you can find Claire, right? So Claire, please support her as well. Cars for Ukraine. It's a really, really important initiative by Claire and her team of volunteers. Some American attitude is similar, so it's not entirely hard to understand. I don't know. It's like the main reason why we could observe that culture in Japan was because Japan was so much isolated from the rest of the world. Basically, this is something that, on one hand, brought up, raised this culture, right? Developed it into something so unique and something so not similar to other things, to other cultures. On the other hand, this is something that made Japan comparably weak, okay, if we're talking about other countries. So only the restoration of Meiji, when Meiji went to Europe and studied and returned and brought the European technology to Japan, that was the moment when Japan changed, and Japan, with their culture and like with their views that were born and forged in this society of samurai, those like brutal guys, combined with European technology, all that stuff basically resulted in, well, it was good for Japan, right? Because they started developing like crazy, they started learning trading and stuff like that. But on the other hand, it's basically the reason why they became this militarist power that later invaded China and attacked Pearl Harbor and worked together with my God, with the Axis, right, during the World War II. That's true, by the way. Japan won against Russia in early 1900s. In Russia, they have this legendary Aurora cruiser. So this Aurora cruiser that, according to the legend, participated in the Russian Bolshevik Revolution and stuff like that. So this Aurora cruiser was the only surviving cruiser from the fleet that was destroyed by a Japanese fleet back in those days. Not a lot of people actually know about it, but it's kind of funny. Okay, my dear friends, we have literally just several countries. Estonia we already reviewed, and I will be finishing it because, guys, we are already celebrating past my birthday. It's after midnight here in Germany, and we have Portugal. All right. What do we know about Portugal? We know that despite its size, because it's comparably not the biggest country in Europe, right? But despite its size, it was some of the most kick-ass sea powers. I'm sorry, back in the days. So the sea power of Portugal could basically compete with United Kingdom, with France, Spain, of course, Netherlands, and they were really, really good at it. And the reason, like the results of them being so good, is basically the reason why the beautiful country of Brazil speaks their language nowadays. Yeah, so they were really nice. Also, Antonio Gutierrez is one of the more known guys from Portugal, right? And besides that, I think that I should learn a bit more about this country as well. Again, I think they have some kick-ass football or sorry, soccer teams, right? Like they're not bad. Yeah, here, Portugal was a major sea power with colonies in India. Of course, colonies is not a good thing, but from the historical standpoint, we can see that it was an indication of them having a very, very strong and powerful fleet. Okay, what else? We have two more countries. We have Czechia. All right. Unfortunately, Ukraine is not connected to Czechia directly. We're not really neighbors. But on the other hand, if you go to Prague, if you want to go to Lviv in Ukraine, you can go to Prague. Literally, same stuff, same old town, medieval European town, as in Lviv. Basically, very, very much similar. And they have amazing beer. They have knedli, which I definitely want to try. Yaroslav Gashek, the one who wrote this amazing story about the adventures of soldier Schweik. I'm not sure if you heard about it from like literature classes in the school, but we did because Soldier Schweik was so cool. And what else? Oh, go read about how many Japanese women were thrown on ships back to Europe in exchange for goods to Portugal and Spain. It's part of why the shogun got angry and shot them off. Yeah, yeah. The history back then was absolutely crazy. And I remember that they had contacts with the sailors from the Portugal, and because shit hit the fan, right? For some period of time, they decided to isolate, to stop communicating with aliens. All right, Starsky, hold for 2 more hours, brother. I cannot do that. I know that you can stream for like 10 hours straight, but we're streaming for 3 hours already, and we are preparing to go soon. So I'll see you later, probably. All right. So that is Czechia. And what else do we have? We have Terrorashka. We have Terrorashka. Terrorashka is big. And the reason it's so... I cannot even, like... put it like on the screen, okay? Cannot fit it on the screen. The reason Terrorashka is so big is literally because all the people in areas like, I don't know, Siberia, like Chukotka, like Udmurtia, Yakutia, they loved vodka and balalaika so much, right? No, my friends, that's not the case. The reason is literally because they invaded those lands and they captured them and they annexed the territories. The people got assimilated, the people who spoke their native language were laughed at, and they were considered Untermensch, and that is the reason why Terrorashka is so big. But the funniest thing, again, remember I showed you Bangladesh, so all this freaking territory, all right, it has less population than the tiny Bangladesh. And in terms of GDP, this whole freaking territory has less GDP than, for example, Italy, all right? And it has approximately the GDP of American state of Texas. So that is to those who think that Terrorashka is like, you know, this undefeatable holy power that is guarded and protected by divine power of Orthodox God, Jesus Christ, and things like that. No, that's not the case, because at some point that huge and scary Terrorashka lost to guys from Afghanistan wearing sandals and armed with like old rusty AKs, which led to the inevitable demise of the USSR. So that's what we know about Terrorashka. Terrorashka, if you want to know about Terrorashka, check out all of my videos. They're all dedicated to this amazing place that we will most probably see deconstructed as well in the nearest future, in the observable future at least. What more can I say? What more can I say? That is basically the place where I will be going in the future after the collapse of the terrorist federation. I will be going there. I will be bringing humanitarian aid to the Russian kids. They will be learning how to sing Ukrainian songs. So basically, they will be raised proper people. They will be going together with their classes. They will be traveling to Bucha to honor the victims of Ukrainian, to honor Ukrainian victims of the terrorist federation, and they will be saying never again. They will be saying never again. We are so sorry for what our parents did. And also thank you so much for your humanitarian aid and the fact that we survived and got raised into a friendly and democratic society. Thank you so much, dear Ukraine. So this is what I think about Terrorashka, and basically this is what will happen to them in the observable future. Oh my god. It was fun, my friends. I nearly broke my tongue trying to spell those crazy words that you gave me. Oh, and I finished my beer. It was good. Remember, wear your sandals. I remember about that, but after a decade of wearing combat boots, and in the beginning, like for a good half of that period of time, they were not the best quality. I would better not wear sandals anywhere around human beings, all right, because it's dangerous for human species. They can literally drop me from an airplane over Moscow, and that will bring the Terror Russian Empire to its horrible demise. Starsky needs to find the Russian Volunteers, Corps, Freedom of Russia, Legion, Siberian Battalion, and Free Chechen Brigade. Best humanitarian aid, 100%, my friend. And I promote this idea among my Russian friends, like good Russian friends, all right? So apparently we will see something like that, because I know that some of the guys that I interviewed on my channel and the guys that the channels I've been invited to, they kind of do that, all right? So they kind of already support those guys, because Russian freedom fighters in Ukraine are doing absolutely honorable thing, and to me they are same heroes as international volunteers who fight against Russian terrorists. And of course, they have my complete respect. Ilya Bogdanov, actually, the dude who, remember, there was incursion of Belgorod Oblast that temporarily, for a while, became a Belgorod Oblast of Ukraine. So Ilya Bogdanov is my good friend, actually. We know each other. He's from Kiev. He's from Russia originally, but he... how do you call it? He got enlightened, all right, and he started fighting for us against Russian terrorists. So he has Ukrainian citizenship. He has this amazing restaurant in Kiev called Piance, I believe. That is kind of like Vietnamese, generally Asian Oriental food, and it's very, very good. Okay, my dear friends, it was the longest stream since, I don't know, 2023, I think. 3 hours, 20 minutes already. I will be probably going to bed slowly and finishing my cake and things like that. What I wanted to say is that I've had enormous pleasure today. It was some of the best birthdays again since 2023. Thank you so much for staying with me today. It was really, really cool. And what else I would like to say? Big thanks, of course, to everyone who supports my channel. Big thanks to everyone who supports Ukrainian army, Ukrainian brigades. You are doing absolutely amazing thing. And to me, you are heroes and defenders, of course. And I have enormous respect to you, my friends. And also big thanks to everyone who was asking questions, dropping those crazy words in the chat. It was really, really fun. Also, thank you, my dear moderators, Newman, Ali, and Katie. Thank you so much. And with that, my dear friends, I will be going to bed straight away. I swear. We'll see you next time. Tomorrow we have Thursday. Not sure about stream, but probably we'll have another video because there's so many updates since yesterday. And generally speaking, be safe, my dear friends. See you next time, and bye-bye.